Hello, everybody. Today we are here with Becca Mock from the Diamond Legacy Insurance Company, and she's going to give us some special insurance stuff coming up next. And we are back. How's it going, Becca?
It's great. How are you?
Getting over the jet lag and being back in Kansas there for that 22 days. But other than that, good. Kind of was a little bit of a hectic morning getting all set up and unpacked and all that.
Yeah, I know you always need a vacation from your vacation when you get back from long trips like that.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm.
But it was a very productive trip, so that was a good thing. How's
Good.
things been going here?
Oh, pretty good. We've been pretty busy. Lots going on. Just in general life. Business. It's a little crazy with all these storms and weather-related claims and things going on. But yeah, we're good.
Yeah. I would imagine some people would be interested in some of that stuff. The process of setting up those claims as far as weather damage and what may or may not be covered.
Yeah, absolutely. Claims these days insurance carriers don't like to see claims. And when you have a claim on your property, not only can it be difficult to get insurance, but your rates also increase as you lose the claims free discount. And so, what you're going to see when you file a claim is anywhere from a rough estimate of 20 to 30% increase on your property, regardless of the amount of the claim. And so, especially right now, we're seeing all the fences down, and I like to call it insurance math. But, if you have a neighbor, you own that fence 50%. So I'm going to make up some fake numbers here. Let's just say it's going to cost $10,000 to replace that fence. You have, 50% of that is yours, would be $5,000.
Right.
And if you have a $2,500 deductible or higher, you're only going to get a refund back or, a payout back from your insurance carrier for about $2,500.
Right.
And so you have to do the math to see like, okay, if my policy is $1,500 a year right now, and it's going to jump up 30%, is it really worth filing that claim? And so I usually say on things like that, no. Insurance policies these days are really meant for more catastrophic events. A tree falls on your house, or a car drives through your house, or a pipe bursts while you're on vacation. You come home to a flooded house and you need your entire floors replaced. Things like that. Absolutely, file a claim. But for the little things, I don't recommend it. And unfortunately, with fences, home warranties don't cover that, but oftentimes a lot of other small claims your home warranty packages do. So I always recommend having a home warranty on top of your insurance. I have it on my own home. So yeah. Yeah. So that's a big one.
Yeah, you mentioned that the home warranty compared to homeowners insurance, and a lot of people are confused about that and what the difference between the two is. Maybe you could give
Mhm.
them a little insurance update.
Yeah, well, the home warranty is going to cover a lot of things that the insurance carriers don't. And on your home policy in California, nobody covers wear and tear. So things like that, on some cases, are covered under your home warranty. You also have equipment failure. So things like if your washer dryer goes out, your dishwasher, your oven, stovetop, microwave, things like that, you've got coverage for that through your home warranty for either repair or replacement. And so I recommend, if you do have a home warranty, double check with your agent to see what the coverages are. But also there are different tiers and different levels of coverage. Things like if you have a pool, you want to make sure that that's included if you want coverage for it, because that's going to cover things like the pool pump, things like that wouldn't be covered under your homeowner's policy. So it's definitely worth educating yourself before a claim, so that in the event that there is a claim, you know exactly what you have coverage for and what you don't. Because even if you file a claim on your homeowner's policy and there's a zero payout, it still counts against you. So you don't lose the claims free discount, because obviously there was no payout. But if you ever go file another claim down the road, it shows that you have two claims on you, even though one of them is a zero payout. And insurance carriers right now, especially with the way the market is, don't even want to see a zero payout claim, because that's a red flag that something happened. So got to be careful about that.
Okay. Now, and you said, so the wind blew my fence over, and I decide that I want to file that claim because I have $1,000 deductible, and they're going to pay out $4,000. It's going to increase my insurance. You said 20 to 30%, correct?
20 to 30%, because you lose the claims free discount, which is it's a discount, and it increases your rates for 3 years.
3 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, you've got to weigh that math.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I like to call it insurance math. See if it's worth it. Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned catastrophic failures.
Mm-hmm.
The wind blows my tree over.
Mm-hmm.
It falls into my fence and also takes out the neighbor's roof. Mm-hmm. Whose insurance pays for that?
Depends on the circumstances, but most likely your insurance pays for your damage. Their insurance pays for their damage.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So my tree broke their roof, mm-hmm. but it's their insurance that pays for it because it was an external.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Every insurance carrier is a little bit different. So, you'll have to check with your carrier first. I have seen it go both ways, depending on the carrier, but usually if it's your house, it's your damage, it's your insurance. Mm-hmm.
And did they battle over the
deductible? They could. Mm-hmm. They could. Absolutely. Yep. Sometimes I've seen that where insurance carriers go after the other carrier. They subrogate for it. But ultimately it's not anyone's fault unless it's something like, hey, we've been telling our neighbor to trim the trees, or, take care of them and they're not doing it, or this tree's dead and it should have been removed a long time ago. So every circumstance is a little bit different. But yeah. So, and keep in mind too, that when there are catastrophic events, when it's declared a catastrophe, those claims don't count against you. So, depending on the circumstances, like when there was the fires in Santa Rosa, none of those claims counted against them. They didn't lose the claims free discount because they lost their fire in the.
Okay. So if the claims happen and it's been called a national disaster, you're in a disaster area, then it doesn't count against you either.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's but does it count against you when PG&E started the fire?
Yeah, that's a whole nother ballgame. I'm not an adjuster, so every situation is taken very. There's a lot of details that can make or break the situation and the payout. So ultimately, an adjuster is the one that's going to decide that. But yeah, you just want to be careful when you're filing claims. I guess that's basically what I'm trying to say. Don't call if you know that it's only $500. Don't call and file the claim. It's not worth it. And what we tell everyone in our agency is just get quotes ahead of time. You have 2 years to file a claim. So just get quotes ahead of time. And really the carrier is going to want to see, if a claim is filed, that you did everything you could to mitigate any further damage. So, really that's your responsibility in it as a homeowner.
Right.
Mhm.
And I had that exact experience many years ago. We had a dishwasher or a washing machine line burst and flooded the kitchen, the laundry room, on into the dining room. Had laminate flooring, the
Mhm.
old type, not the new luxury vinyl
Right,
stuff, the
right,
old
yeah.
stuff, and it all bubbled up, and filed the claim on it. And when uh, they sent somebody out to get the water, and my wife had spent tons of time mopping water and towels and everything to get it, and the contractor told the insurance company, and yes, they waived our deductible because
Mhm.
she actually tried
Mhm.
to mitigate the damage, as you
Right,
said, right?
right.
So yes, that's definitely something that people should think about when
Absolutely.
those things happen, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Some people say, oh, I'll just keep letting it go. I want a new floor, or the insurance company is going to take care of it. But you want to do everything in your power to lessen further damage.
Yeah.
So,
Save that $1,000, $2,500, $5,000 deductible because you tried to stop the damage.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So, have been watching you on Facebook, stalking you a little bit. What's going on with the boy?
Oh, yeah, they're doing great. Let's see, my oldest one, he's doing great. Their season's going great at Delta College in Stockton. So they're off to a great start. They've had a few losses, but they're still going strong. And, the rain's taken a little beating to the schedule, but they've actually done pretty good, with maneuvering it. A lot of the teams have turf fields, so they can still play as long as it's not, thunder and lightning and dumping. So,
Right.
so
Right.
yeah, it's doing good. And my little one's getting ready to start high school next year. So we just had that orientation and, picking your classes and all that fun stuff. So it's a little overwhelming, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, the whole new high school thing is, let's see, because you have, where you're at is, we have grade school, middle school, and high school. You don't, you have just
No,
basically grade school and straight into high
no,
school.
no, we have middle school here too. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
we're in Livermore. They have middle school, elementary, middle school, and then high school. So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess you don't get to pick classes in middle school, do you? You just
no,
get what you get.
you get what you get. Yeah, exactly. You do have in eighth grade, you get to pick your elective. You get one elective that you can pick, but other than that, no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I remember that well from when we moved from Utah to California. That
mm-hmm,
was the summer in between sixth and seventh grade.
mm-hmm.
And when I got here, they had given me my classes, and I looked at my classes and my 8 periods, all the
Yeah,
stuff. And I get to
yeah.
eighth period, and eighth period was this thing called home economics.
Oh,
I knew what
yes.
homes were, and I knew what economics were, but I've really never heard of home economics. It just didn't
Mhm.
make a lot of sense to me, but I didn't want to seem stupid and ask anybody. So I'm going through the day, and about fourth or fifth period was my gym class, and teacher's taking roll call, and he doesn't call my name. Coach didn't call me. He's, oh yeah, you're a new kid, huh? And I said, yeah. He's, oh, don't worry, I'll just write you in. You don't have to worry about it. It's all good. I said, well, they called my name in all the other classes. He's, well, I don't know, just a mistake. Don't worry about it. Well, I get to home economics, and two things I remember very distinctly about walking into the home economics room. The first one was the teacher was old. She was probably 45 or 50 older than my parents, right? And she was wearing black horn rimmed glasses, a dress, and high heels. And I
Oh,
walked in the door, and her eyes, just like a cartoon, and she runs from the front of the classroom all the way to the door, and she pushes me out, says, you don't belong here. You belong
oh,
next door.
oh.
And I
So they
said,
didn't
no,
let
ma'am.
guys in that class.
Yeah, no, ma'am. No, I belong here. And she goes, no. You belong next door in bachelor living, because in 1968, there was
That was
bachelor
the
living
same.
in home economics, and it was basically glorified sex education, right? I mean, yes, they taught us how to do a little cooking and a little sewing in bachelor living, but really, when you boiled it all down and think back on it, it was really telling us more about the birds and the bees and a little bit about that stuff, right? It was kind of weird.
Interesting. Well, I went to high school in the 90s, and I took home economics, and there were guys in our class then.
Yeah.
We got to learn cooking, sewing, things like that. It's mostly
Sure.
cooking stuff, but yeah.
Sure. And I'd already learned that kind of stuff at home. My mom was that kind of person that thought everybody should do everything and know a little bit about everything, right? So,
yeah.
But when I went to, she told me, I held my thing up and said, room 21, home economics. She says, there's been a mistake. You need to go to the office. So I get to the office, and the secretary, I say, hey, little mistake, I guess I was supposed to be in bachelor living. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't even look at the sex. She was the mother of one of the 3 other Carries that I went to school with.
Yep.
And didn't even look. So she just put me in girls PE and home economics.
Oh.
So the whole time she's going, I'm so sorry. She's typing up the new thing, and she gets all done, and she slides both of them over and says, now go to your old classes and check out, and go to your new classes and check in.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, no, I'll go to the new classes and check in. And I slid that thing back over to her, but it's your fault, right? You just said it's your fault. You've apologized. You go to home economics and you go to girls PE, because I saw the home economics teacher and she was old and she was mean. I can't imagine what's going to happen if I walk into girls PE.
Right. Yeah. That might be a bit of a doozy.
So we went back and forth a couple times, and she finally said, Carrie, you seem like a fine young man. And you have to understand in life, there are things that are going to happen to you that are not your fault, but you have to take responsibility for. And this is one of those things.
Oh.
And I said, So I'm not going to get away with not going back to home economics and into girls PE. That's what you're saying, right? She said, yeah. And I slid the new schedule across to her, and I said, here, take this and go ahead and type it up as C-Ray and change my permanent record to C-Ray, and I'll go do this. And she said, no, you don't have to worry. It's not going to happen. It's all taken care of. And I said, I know, ma'am, because I'm a fine young man, and I'm taking responsibility for making sure that it doesn't
happen again. So now we know the story of how C-Ray
came about. And the only reason in 7th grade I really had the capacity, I guess you'd call it, to think about doing that, because my dad was V-Ray. He didn't sign his name V-Ray. He just signed it Ray Brower. Mm-hmm. But he went to V-Ray in his, I think it was junior year in high school. He had been Val Ray and V-A-L-R-A-Y, Val Ray, all of his life. And he had gone by Val all the way up to that time. And the reason he was Val Ray was because back in that would have been 36, when he was born, the old wives' tale, you carry it high, it's a boy, you carry it low, it's a girl, or whatever the wives' tale is, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
His older brother, my Uncle D, was carried high and he was carried low, or whatever. And my grandmother wanted a baby girl really, really bad. Aww. And so they did not even pick a boy's name because she knew she was going to have a girl, so it was Valerie.
Oh.
And when he came out equipped, they changed it to Val Ray. And he was Val all the way up till a girl moved into town named Val Ray, all one word, V-A-L-R-A-Y, and his buddy started giving him a bad time.
Interesting.
And so he got rid of Val and started being Ray. And then when I changed, I went home and said, I'm going to be Ray now. I'm not going to be Carrie anymore. Well, that didn't go over in the house very well, but they did understand my concern.
Absolutely.
So I became Raymond at home, even though my name is actually Ray. I became Raymond. And my aunts, uncles, grandmas, and grandpas for years and years called me Carrie Ray, even though I wasn't in trouble.
So you just answered all of it.
I tell people, call me anything. I don't care.
Right.
A lot of times in my business, because of the fact that the state of California requires that you have your full legal name on your license. So there's places that people go search me out and find out that my first name is Carrie. And I actually have clients that really like the name Carrie and they call me Carrie.
Mm.
So yeah, I answered anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Wonderful.
That's a good story. Yeah.
So any more things that you would like people to know about insurance other than call us at Diamond Legacy? The numbers below.
Right here. So I think the other thing that is kind of the buzz right now in insurance, especially in California, is this whole snowpack thing. And the snowpack. The snowpack that we have going on, we have the second highest snowfall since 1980s. And what that means is that when that all starts melting, now that we've had so much rain and we've got, everything is just overflowing now. They're letting out dams and we're having collapses and whatnot. Right now, everyone is recommending flood policies. And even if you're not in a flood zone, obviously that could be an issue. And flood policies are generally, especially if you're not in a flood zone, are very inexpensive. We're talking, when I say very, like maybe $400 or $500 a year. If you're not in a flood zone, if you're in a flood zone, then they're a lot more. But we're already seeing moratoriums right now. I can't write a flood policy except through NFIP flood. And so NFIP are a little bit higher in cost. It's the National Flood Insurance Program. They're federally backed, federally regulated. But I think what's going to happen is as soon as this snow starts melting, we're going to see mudslides, we're going to see flooding, and we're going to see overflow of dams and rivers and streams and whatnot because, we're so saturated. So I think that's something for everyone to consider because your home insurance does not cover flood, doesn't cover earthquake, and it doesn't cover natural disasters. Natural, things like that, wear and tear, and then of course the flood and earthquake. So separate policies. So I would recommend getting quotes for those.
And people think, well, I'm not in a flood zone, but everywhere can actually be a flood zone depending upon the conditions. And they don't realize that flood zone map is broken into sections.
Sure.
That there's the 100-year flood, the 500-year flood, the 1,000-year flood. It can always flood.
Yeah.
Look at Noah.
Well, and you also have things going on too, where, most cities are really good about cleaning out the leaves and whatnot out of the drains and streets. But, you have to do your due diligence. I think people have kind of gotten a little lax about, oh, somebody else will take care of it kind of, mentality. And so you need to make sure that you are mitigating your own damages in the future by, cleaning out your gutters, trimming your trees, cleaning out the streets, just, being a good neighbor and taking care of things because, those are situations where it can also back up.
Right.
We've seen it happen on the freeways, local freeways lately. And if there's a lot of runoff really quickly, because I have a feeling it's going to get warm really fast. And so the snow melt's going to happen really quickly. We're going to see issues. So,
I do believe you're correct. And that good neighbor thing reminds me that in our street, the storm drains are relatively shallow in the street. So the standpipes where the manhole covers are, it happened this year. It had happened probably been 8 or 10 years ago. 8 or 10 years ago when it was happening, it was middle of the night, it's raining really hard, and watching a movie and hear this ding, 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 ding. What was that? A couple minutes later, ding, 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 ding. That was really weird. Huh. Happens the third time, I go to the front door and I open the front door and I'm watching and it's storming and going crazy outside. Nothing. I close the door. I get just about back to my chair and ding, 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 ding. Go back, open the door, sit and wait. The standpipe would fill up with water and create a hydraulic hammer and pop the manhole cover up, and then it'd land back down in the thing and ding, 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 ding. That's what I was doing. That time, when I was watching, it actually blew it clear out and onto the street. It didn't come down and go ding, 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 ding. It went thud.
Oh, no.
So I grab a coat. I go out, big in construction. I went out and slid it over into the thing, and I look down the street, and there's 5 of them in a row that are laying up on top of the cement or the asphalt. So yeah, I go soaking wet, go knock them all in. This last one, same thing that had happened, only it was only one of them that was just one door down, but I had gone out because the water was starting to back up into my area. My house wasn't very far. It was just across the sidewalk. But while I was doing that, the storm drain at the end of the block there, 2 doors down, was full of leaves.
Yep.
It wasn't draining. So I picked it out and was soaked again.
Yeah. A lot of it is general maintenance, but some of it just can't be prevented. But everything helps.
Every little bit helps. Mm-hmm. And we all need to come together as a community and help. Not assume that somebody else is going to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Well, Becca, I want to thank you for your time. It's always great to see you. Looking forward to what we have coming up next month, because by that time, I bet the snow's melting.
Hopefully. Hopefully we have some spring weather and no more rain.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, everybody, below, you've watched all the time Becca at diamondlegacyins.com or 925-495-2233. They are great. They will find you the best possible policy available. They saved me a ton of money, and I bet they can save you a ton of money. Give them a call, get a quote, free and no obligation. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Nope.
Perfect. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping in and seeing me and Becca. All of you, remember to see Ray to find your perfect home, and go out and be the sunshine in somebody's rainy day. And we've had plenty of those. You guys take care. Have a great day. Thanks again, Becca.